Hello everyone, this is Madan. How are you all doing? Top military analysts had said that the Ukraine war will last for a week or two, but the brave and resilient Ukraine military is fighting hard. Now, as of 24th February 2023, a full year has passed by and Russians are not able to defeat the Ukraine military. Now, Ukraine's President Zelensky has said his forces need Western battle tanks urgently to defend its territory and push Russian troops out of the occupied areas. According to the New York Times, Ukraine believed that Russians will start a fresh attack between March to June. So they desperately need about 300 Western tanks. As per the latest reports, after a long wait, the US is sending 31 of its Abrams tank. The UK is providing 14 Challenger 2 tanks and Germany is sending 14 Leopard 2 tanks. In this video, let us talk about only Abrams tank, its strengths and weaknesses, and about the so-called Russian guidebook to kill the mighty and technologically advanced Abrams tanks. I would like to state a small disclaimer here. This so-called guidebook from Russians and the information was gathered from the internet. So there is equal chance of it being a false or fake information about Abrams tanks vulnerability. Abrams tanks has been used by America in battle for decades. It was first used in Gulf War between 1990 to 1991 when Iraq invaded Kuwait. It needs 4 persons to operate. Its shell can destroy enemy tanks even if they are 2.5 to 3.5 kilometers away. It has advanced targeting systems and the gunner will lock the target, and even if the Abrams is moving at full speed with ups and downs, its shell will accurately kill the enemy tanks. It has thick tracked wheels and 1500 horsepower turbine engine. It has a top speed of about 68 kilometers per hour. Mostly battle tanks have diesel engines, but the Abrams has a gas turbine propulsion system. It has proven in actual battle condition to be reliable in practice and combat. So why the US kept saying no or delayed supplying tanks to the Ukraine? The Abrams jet engine needs thousands of liters of fuel to operate. It consumes fuel at a rate of at least 5 liters per kilometer. It has fuel tank capacity of about 1900 liters. So it can travel about 250 kilometers. That means a constant supply of numerous fuel trucks must stay nearby. The Abrams is so powerful that it can run through snow and mud, but the fuel trucks cannot do it.
One report says that the Abrams tank is a very complicated piece of equipment. It's expensive. It's hard to train persons to operate it. It is hard to maintain. But according to a Forbes article, it is otherwise. Actually, the computerized targeting system for the main gun simplifies the gunner's role. It has an astonishing over 95% chance of hitting its target. The engine is highly reliable and the rest of the tank is ruggedly constructed. So it is unlikely to break down in conditions where other vehicles might fail. If the engine does get affected, its power pack can be removed and replaced in 30 minutes. And because it has a gas turbine as engine, it is much quieter than a diesel engine. An interesting tidbit. Because it has a relatively quieter engine, it is called the Whispering Death. It seems that Putin has been expecting Western tanks to Ukraine for some time. It can be confirmed because recently he appointed Russian Chief of Staff General Valery Gerasimov as the Ukraine War Commander. He is a tank and tank warfare expert. Now coming to the so-called Russian experts guidebook to kill the Abrams, there are many instructions. The first one is recommending to hit at guidance systems or the tank's main gun with machine guns. Yes. Even machine guns are enough. The second instruction is to hit the large gap between the hull and turret. Hull can be said as the body of the tank. The third instruction is to hit the bay on the sides of the hull. It can be pierced even using the older grenades for the RPG grenade launcher. RPG means rocket-propelled grenade. In modern warfare, it is a very obsolete piece of weapon. The above instructions are based on the assertion that the Abrams are highly protected in the frontal section but not as well armored in the side and rear sections. It says to fire from BMP-2 cannon along the sides of the hull. BMP in Russian means infantry fighting vehicle. There is another weapon from Russia. It is the BP-540. It is a high explosive anti-tank projectile. If fired from a distance of 500 meters at an angle of 38 to 90 degrees to the side of Abrams, it will kill it. The entire area around the gun and the characteristic triangle under it are vulnerable. The upper frontal part of the tank is much weaker, so tankers and armor piercers are advised to hit it there. Based on the experience of previous occasions when Abrams was involved in battle, the guidebook recommends the following points. 1. Create special teams of soldiers carrying armor-piercing weapons. It should include a machine gunner and a sniper to protect against infantry covering an enemy tank. 2. To bring the tank to particular areas that restrict the movement of tanks. I think this is a generic recommendation. It doesn't need a super brain to suggest this. 3. The location of the ambush should ensure cutting off escape routes and locking vehicles in the destruction sector. 4. When conducting military operations in the city, it is necessary to use several teams. They have to be placed at different levels. In basements, on the first or third floors of buildings. For a reliable defeat of the tank, it is recommended to simultaneously fire up to 5 to 6 shots from RPGs from different directions. 5. It is recommended to fire at Abrams from above, from the sides and from the rear. Shots on the frontal armor are ineffective.
The book takes some lessons from the Second Iraqi War. That war has exposed the weaknesses of Abrams tank. The front side of Abrams had provided good protection against the anti-tank weapons used by the Iraqi army. But side portion is weak and it can be destroyed even with grenade launchers developed in the 1960s. The guidebook also says that the percentage of success rate. According to foreign experts, even if the obsolete RPGs hit the Abrams on the side of the turret, on the side of the hull, above the rollers, there is 55% probability that the tank will be destroyed. When fired into the roof of the turret, the probability increases to 70% effectiveness. It quotes another example of how even a simple homemade landmine can destroy the Abrams. On October 27, 2003, 40 kilometers from Baghdad, there was an Abrams tank that was blown up by a handmade landmine. It only consisted of several artillery shells. Then it says about the fuel tanks of Abrams. It is located in front of the tank on both sides of the driver. It says those are very vulnerable and in both recorded cases, hitting them led to the destruction of the tank. Abrams tanks consist of a large number of complex systems and subsystems that can easily fail. It includes fire control system, a radio station, and other electronic systems. In war conditions, Abrams moves at a high speed over bumpy and rough and tough terrain. So there will be strong vibration and shocks. Even according to American experts, when this happens, those systems must be regularly rechecked and recalibrated after being exposed to vibration and strong shock during the battle. In the meanwhile, there is some conspiracy theories propagated by Russia. Many say the Western countries are preferring to extend the war. They are using this war for ulterior motives. I don't know what it is, but why the war is not being stopped. But as far as I am concerned, war in any form is inhuman and uncivilized behavior. I mean, how can humans call themselves advanced when they are still killing each other in the name of religion and territory? When will humans change their ways? Ultimately, the poor civilians, mothers, fathers, and children are killed in hundreds of thousands. I will end the video here. Thanks for watching the video till the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe the videos. Most importantly, share the videos widely. Thanks once again. Take care. Bye bye.